What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be discussing if community Grails flop once they officially release. But before we do start, I do just want to give a shout out to the second channel, Complex 2. A link to that will be in the description down below. I think I'm going to start uploading stream highlights over there, so if you guys are interested in checking that out, a link to it will be in the description down below. And I just want to give a big shout out to all the channel members. Thank you guys for supporting me. But with all this being said, we're going to dive on into everything. Alright, so for this video, I'm going to be using the Spotify streams to calculate how songs have been doing once they've officially released. And I also want to make it clear that we're only going to be going over the community Grails. Now, I do think that there are some songs I will add in here because even if they weren't Grails because they were already leaked, they were still really wanted songs to be released, so I still think they deserve to be looked at. If I forget a song, I'm sorry. You can let me know in the comments down below, and maybe at some point we can do a part 2 to this once we get more Grails officially released. But with this being said, we're going to go ahead and start with Legends Never Die, since that was the first posthumous album, and we're going to look at what songs on there released that were Grails. Well, there was two songs that were really wanted in the community at the time, and those were Blood on My Jeans and Man of the Year. Blood on My Jeans was one of the most wanted snippets in the community at the time we were about to get Legends Never Die, and the song currently has over 170 million streams on Spotify, which honestly is pretty good. If you look at some of the songs surrounding it, it has more streams than Bad Energy, but obviously it doesn't than Righteous, just because Righteous was the lead single, and I think Righteous is just one of Juice's best songs in general. But comparing Blood on My Jeans to the rest of WRLD, it's honestly holds up its own compared to a lot of the tracks on the later half of the album, and even a couple of them at the beginning of the album. It has more streams then, so I would say that Blood on My Jeans was definitely a success releasing it. Now, moving over to Man of the Year, this is obviously the outro or the last actual song on the album, and it has just under 160 million streams, and honestly, yet again, it's another dub. I think it has more streams than a lot of songs right around it, minus Stay High, but for the end of the album having around 100 million streams to 140 million each song, Man of the Year does pass it, or at least stay caught up with everything else. So I think both Blood on My Jeans and Man of the Year were Grails in the community, and they were both big successes once they officially released. Now, moving over to Bad Boy real quick before we do get into Fighting Demons. Bad Boy wasn't one of the songs that was an unleaked Grail in the community like Blood on My Jeans and Man of the Year were for a bit, but Bad Boy was a highly anticipated and highly wanted song because of the Lyrical Lemonade music video it still had with it, and obviously it's just Juice and Thug, and it's a great song, and it definitely did not flop whatsoever. It has over 160 million streams on Spotify as just a single, and the music video on YouTube has just under 50 million views, so I would say Bad Boy was also a dub releasing. Now, moving over to Fighting Demons, which is the last project that we'll be looking at for this video, there were a few Grails on this album. I think that the majority of them would have probably been Wandered to LA, Already Dead, Go Hard, and Feel Alone. I would say those were the main ones, but I also want to look at Burnin' Sometimes, because for the same exact reason as Bad Boy, these might not have been Grails that were unleaked because they were already leaked, but they were highly wanted songs to be released by the community, and they're just great Juice songs. Burn has over 66 million streams on Spotify, and Sometimes has just under 30 million, and keep in mind that Sometimes was released on the deluxe very recently with almost no promotion, so I think that both of these are pretty good streams, especially considering Burn is the intro to the album, but these are definitely a huge decrease in what we saw in WRLD, but WRLD has also been out for almost 2 years at this point. Looking at some of the actual Grails that released on the album that were unleaked, Already Dead is by far the most successful with over 120 million streams. This was also the single to the album, and I think Already Dead was one of the peak community Grails, to the point where some mainstream listeners or casual listeners probably had heard the snippet on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram and knew what the song was at least. And then moving over to Feel Alone, which was my personal Grail, it has just under 22 million streams on Spotify, which definitely is one of the least streamed songs on the album. It's near the very end. It's still above a couple songs, but for the most part, Feel Alone did not stream that well, at least not to where it's at right now. And both Go Hard's added together because both are still on the album for some reason, and you can calculate both streams together, obviously. Altogether, Go Hard has 45 million streams, which makes it one of the most successful songs on the album, and Wander to LA with Justin Bieber has right under 85 65 million streams, which is definitely one of the most successful songs on the album by having just under 100 million. But with all this being said, I would say that Wander to LA definitely didn't flop because it was also the second single, but you could see a huge decrease in streams compared to L&D from Fighting Demons, and I think that comes into play with the fact that Fighting Demons was just a rush together project. It dropped at a weird time. It didn't have a lot of promotion. It's not the first posthumous album anymore, so I think a lot of that did play a part in just the decline in streams. But overall, I would say a majority of the Grails seemed to stream pretty well, at least at the beginning when they were releasing them. And then getting into Fighting Demons, we definitely saw a huge decrease, but I also don't want to go too far into that topic yet just because Fighting Demons has only been out around 6 months. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Community Grails flop when they release, or what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.